Welcome back to Dark Sun Shattered Lands, 20% less background noise edition. So last time I said we were going to go do the Daglar tunnels next. That ain't happening. At least not yet. Wall of Fog, completely useless scroll because Wall of Fog is a starting spell. That's armor. And color spray. That'll come in handy once we start fighting humanoids again. So instead, we're just going to leave the sewers. But before we leave, there's a few things I want to pick up. Now, even though we're not doing the Daglar tunnels yet, we're still going to get the Staff of Parting. The reason for this is because the Staff of Parting counts as a magical weapon. Now, you can opt to just take it out of the sewer drain, but since we're nominally the good guys, we're going to introduce ourselves to the Skull Elders first and get permission. Ask for guidance, ask about Daglar, ask where Daglar is, say he must be close by, ask where the Staff of Parting is, ask about the Staff of Parting, you do have to ask both, then ask where to find the staff, and then thank you and goodbye. Once you do that, you can take the staff without being accosted. And as I said, it's a +1 staff, so just having it will make the fight easier. There's another magical weapon down here, and it's a magical axe. We actually need to do a thing first. Unfortunately, it's guarded by slimes, and slimes can only be damaged by bladed weapons, so we need to do a little bit of preparation before we go for it. Which is to say, Cratchit needs to cast Flame Blade. Now, Flame Blade generates a heavy metal flame blade in your... it's either the right hand or the first empty hand, one of the two. Now, the thing about the flame blade is that it does not count as a magical weapon, and it only deals 1d4 plus 4 damage, so you're dealing between 5 and 8 damage. Which, on the whole, is better than a longsword by itself. But because it doesn't count as an enchanted weapon, well, you don't get a 2-hit bonus. And as you can tell, Cermak is dealing squat. Scylla, on the other hand, because she's got that longsword, is actually able to hit them. Also, Garacus can't seem to hit for beams. And Cratchit keeps missing. Everybody's missing or not doing any damage, one or two. And believe me, it was either do this fight or do the fight with 5 slimes. I want to at least have I want to have some magical weapons before I get out in the open air. There is a way to cheese this fight. As long as you have a bladed weapon, you can keep passing it back and forth between characters. Unlike later games, you're not penalized for switching equipment during battle. And Garacus is legitimately doing 0 damage with his attacks. Great. There we go. Alright, Scylla, you're going to go ahead and pick up Protection from Paralysis. We don't need it immediately, but it is going to come in very handy when we come back. Now, walls like this you can climb. If you're using a thief, you can climb them more easily. Bring Garacus up front. And just smash this guy's head in. This is a red slad. My understanding is that Sladdy are Chaos Elementals. For the longest time, I thought they were just a thing that were invented for this place. Alright. So we are going to go ahead and give this X to Cratchit so that we don't have to keep relying on Flame Blade. Alright, so now we're going to escape the sewers for real. There are 2 ways to go about it. One way is to come up through this main exit and fight your way through a bunch of guards.
You've got mail.
That's what we're going to be doing, but I still want to show off the other exit, so we're going to be looping around, which this is a good reason for us to have the... Oh yeah, we have to come down this way because we're up a slope. We have things that we must do. So we're going to heal up first because we have to fight through another pack of slimes before we get where we're going. And the reason we're fighting through the guards is because we can pick up a +1 obsidian longsword, the Blood Wrath, by doing this. So what we want to do, but like I said, there are 2 ways out of the sewers. One involves fighting through about 3 waves of guards plus a Templar that you pissed off, and the other involves finding a secret hatch. The secret hatch is hidden inside a drain to the east of the main exit. Now, Cratchhead is technically using 2 weapons now. As far as I can tell, there's no penalty in this engine for using more than 1 weapon at a time. This is inaccurate to Dungeons and Dragons, but not wholly unappreciated. In fact, sometimes it feels like the battles of this game are balanced around having more than 1 weapon on hand at a time. I'm good at English, I promise. Anyway, coming around this way, we can pick up another bladed weapon. Hopefully it won't break immediately. Oh! It's not a guaranteed... Huh, I forgot. Okay. What do I want to do? You're using a 2-handed weapon, so let's give you a 1-handed weapon. 1-handed weapons are better than 2-handed weapons for the simple fact that you can wield 2 1-handed weapons at a time. And that would be an obsidian longsword. There's our blade. Don't want to do this, but we'll go ahead and give you the weapon simply because that basically doubles your attacks per round. So yeah, sewer drains. You want to have your thief search them. The correct one will always have a trap trigger before it lets you go. Oh hey, there's that Templar we need to kill. We don't need to go through all the guards. Alright, start the fight early. Scylla, you come around. And you have an acid arrow spell. It's burning a hole in your pocket. This Templar is holding the Obsidian Blood Wrath. It's a +1 longsword. He's also holding grapes and a bunch of guavas. Why would you eat a guava? They're poisonous. But yeah, we now have the Obsidian Blood Wrath, which is our second magic weapon of the game and our first bladed magic weapon. No, it's our third magic weapon of the game. The wooden parting staff is our first one, and the axe was our first bladed one. I'm good at keeping straight what we're doing. That should have been another guard. There we go, there he is. Scylla? Acid arrow. And Ego Whip. Or not. So we have 3 characters with magic weapons, one of which is dual wielding. Let's leave the sewers. As soon as you try to leave the second area of this game, the sewers, you get your mind assaulted by who appears to be the dragon of Erdroxa. I don't know if he actually is, or if he's just Lod's Rod, or if they just gave this guy a scary portrait because it was the first scary portrait they had. Anyway, this is your copy protection for the game. You get 3 tries. If you fail all 3 tries, it kicks you back out to the main menu. The way the copy protection works is that it gives you the 5th word. Well, for example, this one's giving us the 5th word on page 21, line 10 begins with the letter C. So the fifth word on page 21, line 10, letter C, that is class. We have none of that. Get the answer right and he lets you go. This is the only time the copy protection shows up in the game. There are various possibilities. The GOG version does not ship with the copy protection codes already included, so I will be including those in the description of this video. Anyway, now we are in the Fields of Draj. There are two ways out of here. The eastern exit leads to the southern part of the red sand plateau, and the northern exit leads to the main barrens. We're going to take the northern exit because this way the story will make some sense. But there is one other feature of this map. The obelisk. Those of you who are familiar with Dark Sun Shattered Lands will probably remember Lod's Rod, and the various obelisks dotted across the land. Each obelisk is paired with a gem. Many times the gem will require you to do something silly in town. For example, in Teoketzel you have to drink all the water out of the well, then descend the well to get the gem. Up here in the Fields of Draj, our gem quest is just to say, hey, yeah, we're going to help you break out of here. Much like the Helm of Contemplation, no. This guy you actually can't kill to get the items. I believe it's only the Helm of Contemplation that you can't get by killing. What's the proposition? Okay, you've got a deal. He hands you the obelisk gem. The obelisk gems sell for 1,000 ceramics apiece. So if you're in dire need of cash and you know you're not going to be coming back to an area, feel free to sell the gem. I don't like selling the gems, but that's just me. And since we're going to be coming back here for Dagalor, we're going to want to use this obelisk. So you take the gem, put it in the obelisk, and now the obelisk is active. Once we get Lod's Rod, we can teleport here. So now, we're going to keep our word to the surf. Alright, dude, come on. Let's get you out of here. Now, there is a surf around here that will sell fruits. Fruits really aren't that helpful right now. I mean, if you had a lemon, it would help, but there's really nothing you can buy this early on that'll be helpful. So the guards start attacking you. And Cermak is in the wrong spot for Color Spray to work. No, he's not. So Color Spray is basically a quick concussion spell. Yeah. Unfortunately, it has a small range, and the higher the enemy's level, the less likely it is to succeed. Which means it plateaus pretty quickly. And because it's a preserver spell, you don't really get all that many castings of it in the first place. Okay, seriously, why does Scylla keep having protection from normal missiles active? I don't have the Living Cloak yet. Hey, guy. Guy. Come on. Let's get you eaten by the bullet. So if you escort the Surf out of the Fields of Draj, you'll get a special encounter when you first enter the Barrens. Make sure you're ready for this fight. Hey guy, where'd you go? Guy. Seriously, this always happens. I try to show off something fun and it doesn't cooperate. Are you coming with us this time? Or are you just going to stand there? Did he just... Oh, I hope that didn't take the... Okay! That's unusual, but I'll take it. That's free money. Hey guy, you coming this time or not? That's 1,000 ceramic pieces. I'm not going to turn my nose up at free money. Especially this early in the game. Anyway, this is the extra encounter I was talking about. This guy says, thanks, but no thanks, I'm off. Then the sand shifts, he gets murdered, and we have a Bulette. You need to be ready for this fight. And we don't have level 3 Divine yet, do we? Ratchet, try disintegrating it. It worked! Alright, this dead body has a scroll on it. Yada yada. Tuk Titley is actually planning on marching. There's no way for the towns to survive without sticking together. Once you read that scroll, this guy talks to you. You read the scroll. Do you know what this was? Do you know about Teketzel? Where are these villages? I have to go now. He doesn't tell you anything you didn't already know. So with that out of the way, we come up here. There aren't any random encounters in this game. So once you find a resting spot, it's secured. You just can't rest if you're actively in combat. So we come up here, and now we're in Teketzel Village. You're immediately asked by the guard to account for yourself. It doesn't matter what you say as long as you don't say that last thing, so I guess it does matter what you say. If you say, I want to speak to your leader, he will direct you to your leader. Well, no, he will tell you, he will ask what your business is. You'll want to go business proposition. I don't remember what saying it's a personal matter does. And you can do idle chat, but he doesn't really tell you anything you couldn't find out for yourself. So since we told the guy we were here on business, let's go conduct business. Come up here to the big house in the north, and... Chal immediately proclaims you to be the hero. Tell me about this prophecy. Where does the army come from? It comes from Draj, because Draj is the only place big enough to field an army. Who is this guy? This is Lieutenant Querent. Why does he keep interrupting Chal? Because he doesn't believe that Chal's answer is the correct one. How long till this happens? Tell me about the prophecy. Where's the visionary? Who is the visionary? Where is the visionary? Why should I help you? What do you wish me to do? We want you to build an alliance between us and the 2 other slave villages, Cedrilt and Giedrin. Where are the villages? No, that's why will an alliance work. Where are the villages? They are to the west and to the northwest, respectively. But there's a lot you can do. I will help. That gets you free experience. That gets us our level 3 Divine Magic. What help can you offer? We'll start out immediately. Now that you've done that, no one is going to accost you for trying to conduct business. We come down here to the well, talk to Domini. I'm Scylla. Who are you? What are you doing? Tell me about the well. How do you know the well will dry up? There's not just more sand underneath? Rumors about the war, worried about fighting Draj. Do you know the villagers well? Is Chal a good leader? What do you know about the visionary? How did the visionary save the well? Tell me about the lieutenant. You sound dissatisfied with Chal. You were here when Teketzel was founded. And, yeah. Now that you're officially a member of Teketzel Village, you're free to drink from the well. Rapid-fire plot advancement, except that this is actually a side quest. So we come down here, we find our obelisk gem for Teketzel Village, and we have a shadow in the corner. But we're going to stop for here today. I'll see y'all next week, when we start in on helping... Giedrin, I think. Yeah, we'll start in on helping Giedrin first. So I will see y'all next time. And remember, winners don't lose frogs.